Okay, so we are going to get started now, and I will be going over these splits in segments. So we'll go over like the first 3 splits first. I am watching my YouTube video of all bosses plus DLC, as you can see on the splits. And yeah, it's a long run, but we will break it down into segments. So sit back and relax. I want to go over as much things as I can, but at the same time, I want to split it up a little bit so that it's not too long of a video. So I think these are going to be about 20 minutes. So we'll probably go over the first 3 splits, which is Papa G, aka Father Gascoigne, aka Mr. Memer, aka the Big Reset Boy, Bloodstarved Beast, which is BSB, and Amelia. So when we get started, we are going to name our character. And it just so happens that I got a subscription on the very last run, so I just named my character after that person. So as you can see, male or female does not matter. It's personal preference. Same with age. The thing that does matter is that you pick military veteran. That is the best starting stats. As you can see, we have 14 strength and 13 skill. Those are the only things that you're gonna level. You're gonna level those 2 attributes, and we're gonna get started. Okay, and I'll probably fast forward and pause and go back a little bit, so just to kind of speed things up. So when we get started here, we're gonna go down. There's gonna be a wolf that's here. This wolf has reset very many runs, so I came up with the strat to backstab. As you can see, pay attention to my stamina here. As I run, when I get closer to this little part right here, I get it back, and this is so that I have enough to do what we're gonna do next, which is charge up a backstab and fist that butt, and then he dies. Then you don't ever have to deal with him. Sometimes he'll drop a upgrade material that you can get, which is a bloodstone shard, and that'll just make it so that you don't have to get the one in the beginning. But most of the time I don't pick up his item just because it's inconsistent. I think I just went for it there. So we're gonna go out, and what I do is I just run past this guy. We're gonna pull the lever. This is gonna send a ladder down. While that's coming down, we're gonna roll this, pick up the Molotovs, and just kind of run around these guys, and we're up the ladder. So this part is called ladder percent. In some cases you can kind of just have bad starts. It's a really annoying section, but for the most part it's consistent. You really don't have to kill any of those enemies. You could just run right by them. In Bloodborne, these enemies are pretty slow, so everything is good. And we're gonna go to the Hunter's Dream. We're gonna pick up our weapon, and this is the weapon that we're gonna use for the entire run. It's gonna be the Saw Cleaver and the Hunter Pistol. So we use the pistol for parrying later, and this weapon is probably the best weapon in the game, if not just for this run. So we're gonna go back to the lamp that we just came from. Long load screens here, and we're gonna run down, and we're gonna drop down to the left. We're gonna pick up these Molotovs right here, and then we're gonna run straight down all the way, curve right to where that guy's sitting down. Make sure you manage your stamina here. It's very important because these guys can kind of gang up on you. And we picked up the Bloodstone Shard, so we're picking up upgrade materials and just a few things that we need for the beginning part. So right here, I'm just gonna go back, go up these stairs. You have to watch this guy. This guy he's very tricky. He can shoot you a lot, and a lot of runs die there. And as you can see, we just picked up another Bloodstone Shard. We're gonna grab these blood vials here. Then we're gonna break all of these things, all these coffin things, and run down. and we're gonna go to Eileen. We equipped our weapon and the hunter pistol. Instead of going down those stairs, we're gonna break these barrels, and this is where Eileen is. She's kind of hidden, and I didn't know about her for the longest time, but she's gonna give us an item that's very, very important. It's called Bold Hunter's Marks, and we actually get 4 of them, which is really nice. These are the equivalent of Homeward Bones in Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1, where you can safely leave the area that you're in without losing your echoes. And this part here, dropping down on this little lever thing makes it so that you won't get a hard fall and that guy won't shoot you, and then you're just gonna come across this railing here and drop down. And so we go up this ladder here. We're just climbing it. It's a pretty long ladder. We're gonna go to the left here, and then just take your time. You kind of have to creep here because this guy can turn around. He's very annoying because he holds like a statue, and his hits are really crazy. He's pretty hard to dodge, so just backstab him, 2 charge R2s or charge R2 to a backstab, and he's done. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna talk to this little girl. She is one of Papa G's daughters, and she gives you a music box to help you with the fight. We're gonna equip the Molotovs and the music box, heal up, drop down this ladder. Fall damage in this game is very forgiving, so we use it to our advantage. We're gonna drop down here. Now this part right here, as you can see, let me actually put my cursor so you guys can see like where I'm pointing at. So this area right here, it's very dangerous sometimes. These guys can be in a lot of different positionings. What you don't want them to be in is facing this direction, because this is the path that we're running in right here. A lot of times, like most of the time, I will just run right by them no matter what positioning they're in, and if they're facing this way, I'll try and like jump so that if they do swipe or like try to hit me, I'll try and avoid it. But since this is so early in the game and it's very easy to get back to this point, I usually will just run through. The positioning they're in right now looks pretty good. This guy is not even like facing me, so we're just gonna run right by him. See how this guy turned around? Most of the time I will say that they're passive, but they can quick attack you and it can be very surprising, so just pay attention to that. An alternative you could do is just throw Molotovs at them, but you know, I like to save those for later, and it's so early into the game that I'm a lot more riskier than if it were later in the game. So we're gonna fist the pig. The pig's very easy to deal with. You should never get hit by this pig. Just make sure when you're passing this area right here that you manage your stamina. As you can see, we're using it and then we get it back so that we can fully run. He'll do a little roar and you can just get a backstab off. Get the riposte, and then if you just charge up in R2, he'll either just sit there or he'll move like towards you, so you should never get hit by that pig. We're gonna pick up the Saw Hunter badge. This allows us to buy the cane, which we're gonna use for the all bosses run, but for now we're not gonna worry about that. Just make sure you pick it up, and it also gives you the ability to buy throwing knives, which are really useful. So blood vials from the pig always, and we're gonna get that cold blood. The cold blood is the equivalent of just, you know, souls, so we pop those for more echoes. And we're gonna go up, and here again, since it's so early into the run, I don't heal. I just go into the fight. Your health doesn't matter if you're not trying to get hit, right? So wasting time to just use your blood vials is not really smart. In the beginning, what you should do at this point right here, when we get to this point, make a save file. So basically, you can make a save file by stopping this character pretty much and reloading another one so that you can just go through the game, so that you have this character in this spot and then you just reload it each time. There is a way to make a save file. I guess I can talk about that later on once we get to the all bosses section, but it does involve using a flash drive, and it's very easy. I'll open my PC and probably make a separate video, and I'll try and put a link down below on how to do that. But each character that you have, it's recommended, in my personal preference, to just name that character whatever boss you're on. And this boss is definitely one that you want to make a save file for. This is the biggest reset boss in the beginning when people start doing runs. He can be very crazy. So we're gonna go in, and I think on this part I was playing OSTs. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna run up to the right. Most of the time he'll shoot. He won't really hit you if you keep running. We're gonna head to these gravestones right here. This is gonna be our spot. So what we want to do is, he's gonna be back here. We want him to be switched with us. So we want him over here where I am now, and we want to be just behind these gravestones before we do any type of attacks. If you can see, it's kind of like a circle here, and there's a statue there. So we're gonna be doing backstabs on him, and you don't want him to like back up into these or make it so that you can't get a good backstab. It's very important that you have him in the opening, because what'll happen is you'll do a backstab, or you'll use the music box, and you'll try and go for a backstab, and he'll start backing up, and he'll like turn away from you, and it won't allow you to get the backstab. So for the music box, you can use it 3 times in phase 1. No matter how much health he has, if you use it 3 times, he will transform to phase 2. In phase 2, you can use the music box 1 time. So let's see what we're gonna do here. So usually I like to just wait around here. Sometimes I'll roll, but if he's right up against the gravestone like he is now, and he shoots his pistol or his blunderbuss, it won't really go past the gravestones. But rolling is safe, you know, if you want to be really cautious. So as you can see, what I do is I position myself just like this, because over here, if he shoots you while you're using the music box, like, you can't get out of the animation. It just happens and you'll get shot. So I go behind this statue, and you can see we're in very good positioning right here. So we're gonna go up, we're gonna backstab, get the riposte. Something cool that you can do with him as well is you can kind of position yourself. So as you can see how he's facing right now, he's like right at like 12 o'clock, right? Like we're right there, and you see how I kind of turn him a little bit. That's just to prevent him from quick swiping you like he just tried to do. And then he's stuck again. We use the music box. Now this is pretty much the whole fight. Once you get this backstab, there's kind of a chain of events that you have to make sure you're doing. You're switching between 2 items. You have to remember that. So as this animation is happening, we switch to our Molotovs, if you can see. So just pay attention up here. Backstab, Molotovs. We're locked on. We throw it, switch to music box. He transforms his weapon. We get another backstab. And we throw the mollies again. Now, this is a very important part. If he is transforming, this is very, very crucial, because it catches a lot of people off guard. If he is transforming and he's up against a gravestone, like his foot is touching them, or he's along a wall of some sort, he will instantly turn around and come to attack you. And it's very scary. It'll catch people off guard a lot of the time, and his second phase isn't very hard to deal with. I would recommend that you learn his second phase movements. They're not the worst to deal with, but they are very annoying. So get away from him, because that explosion is an AoE, and AoEs count as staggers to your character, which count as hits. So you have to be very careful there. Even though it won't do damage to you, it'll knock your character on the ground. And then on this part, I charge up in R2. If you can see how his arms are, as they're up and then they come down like that, that's when you're safe. If you do it too early, he will hyper armor through the backstab and it won't let you get it. So we just backstab him, throw the Molotov, and he's dead. Then we get the key to open this gate to proceed to the next area. Before we do that, we're going to grab this gem, red jewel brooch, and we're going to pop it here. And that gives us a gem for our weapon. We're going to light this this lamp. If you're just doing any percent, you don't really need this lamp, to be honest. You're not going to come back to this area. The only thing that you might do just for safety precautions for later is grab an item that we'll see a little later once we get into the all bosses part. But it's a bold hunter's mark that you can get back where you came in by those two like beast guys, but it's not super necessary. So if you're just doing any percent, which is these three bosses, Shadows, Ram, Reborn, Miko, and Nurse. Parl is not included in that. The only reason I do Parl is to get bolt paper for Wet Nurse, but you don't have to worry about that. So we're gonna go up the ladder. We're gonna open this, and this item is the workshop tool. It lets you put gems and upgrade your weapon. So that's 100% necessary. So we go through the door. There's a cutscene that plays. Just skip it. And what I like to do is I like to go back to Hunter's Dream here. And I like to level up to 18 strength for Bloodstarved Beast, just to have a little bit more damage. We don't worry about leveling our weapon or doing anything like that. And then I buy pungent blood cocktails, which are like alluring skulls in Dark Souls. So they help enemies get distracted, like the beasts and the werewolves, because they can be really annoying. Okay, so once we're back, we're gonna head left right here, and then we're gonna make a right. You don't have to worry about that guy, he's not gonna do anything. We're gonna grab this armor set, which is the set that we use for the whole game, and then we're gonna get the blood vials, and then we're gonna come down here. We're gonna make our way down to Old Yarnum, and I put the set on minus the hat. Now this part is a little tricky, but it's not that bad. But you can get bad RNG sometimes. So if you notice this tree, there's a guy here and a dog here. If you run like to the side of this tree, anywhere in this area here, the dog will aggro. But if you kind of stay behind it a little bit, he won't aggro. And what our goal is to throw a Molotov at this dog. Just like that. You see my positioning, how I'm slightly behind. I'm kind of at like 7 o'clock, I guess. And then we're gonna just hit that dog. And then this guy, you can kill him or you can throw a molly at him. It's really up to you. I just threw one just because. So this, we're gonna get more Molotovs, and then this is some blood echoes, and then we're just gonna sneak past these two guys so we don't have to worry about them. And what we're gonna do for this part is we're gonna run up this little set of stairs and then immediately come back down right next to this tree. You see how close I am to the tree? There's two dogs that are gonna come down, and sometimes they'll give you good RNG and they'll both come down at the same time. You can kill them with one molly or one extended charged R2 through the railing like this. He's being annoying. Okay, so we just kill him like that. If you take too long or you're standing in a bad positioning, those dogs can come around. Just remember, you have a gun. Dogs fall down if you shoot them, but dogs in Bloodborne, these dogs in Bloodborne are pretty much the only two that you have to deal with for the any percent. They're not the hardest to learn how to deal with them. What I would always recommend is to dodge an enemy, see what works, learn their movesets so that you know how to deal with them as a backup strat, you know, just in case. So then we're just gonna strafe this guy. We're gonna kill him. He drops bullets if you want to pick them up. He always drops them. And then we're just gonna go straight down through here. talk to this guy, call him Mr. Sideburns because his sideburns are super thick, and talk to him. I kind of like just turn around and just spam X, and we're getting fire paper from him. Okay, so now we're gonna come through, make a left. We're gonna pull this lever here. This allows us to open that little tomb thing there. This part right here, if you're running and you push X, like when you're going down the ledge, you'll do like an item pickup cancel, like it'll cancel the animation, just like that. So we picked it up, but it never stopped our momentum. And then I pop these souls, echoes, whatever, cold blood down those stairs. We're gonna pick up this gem. We have a total of 3 gems that we're gonna have before shadows. And then we're gonna run this wolf. Let me go back. So that was right after we picked up the gem. This is where we were. That wolf. Oh shit! Hold on. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can pause it there so you can see him, because he's kind of hard to see. There he is. You see him? So this wolf right here, he's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes he can chase you. Most of the time, he just kind of chills there. But he can chase you all the way into the next area. And if you actually watch this video, in the beginning, he chased me all the way to the bridge of this first area here, and he got me. So just be careful, just listen. You can hear him like chasing you. So you can kind of hide behind this area and kind of just move around. Now, as you can see, I passed this lamp. I passed it for a reason, and that reason is, I'll tell you later. But you can get that lamp if you're just starting these runs, because this area is probably the most reset area in the beginning of the game, honestly. It's really annoying. So what I do is I throw a Molotov at this crawler and hope that he doesn't fall off. He can fall off sometimes. This is the bridge that I was talking about that the wolf chased me to. So we're gonna Molotov this guy. He can quick attack you, so you have to be very careful. And then there's a guy that'll come out on the left here. If you just manage your stamina properly, you're fine. Like, he won't get you. And the way I drop down here, so there's a lot of different ways you can do it. What we used to do is just jump straight down, and what'll happen is what you want to happen, and you'll fall, you'll roll, and you can carry on. But in some cases, and it's really annoying, is that you'll do a hard fall to where you won't recover fast enough, and Jura, who is up on this tower thing, is shooting like a Gatling gun at you. He's insane. He's so crazy. So what I started doing was dropping to this side here, where there's a little like pillar thing that you fall onto, and then you roll off of that, so that the fall is very minimal. And I've never gotten a hard fall off of that. So just roll down there and run. As you can see, he was shooting at you. Back here on the left, you can't really see him, but there's an NPC here. Just run, just keep running. He won't do anything to you. There's a very rare case that he can shoot at you and hit you, but out of all the runs that I've done, I haven't really had any issues with him. So now we're gonna just jump down here all the way, skip that first platform. We're gonna grab this cold blood here, and we put our cocktails on, so we're gonna throw that to distract those enemies down there, and we're gonna run and jump down here. We're making our way to Bloodstar Beast. We're gonna get one of the most important items, probably the most important item in this run as far as damage output is concerned, which is the beast blood pellets. That's what we're gonna go pick up now. So we're just gonna keep going, keep following the path. There's a wolf there, don't even worry about him. And this wolf, like the wolves, they're really easy to get by. You just kind of run by them. They don't really do much. So then we hook a left, we're gonna go up here. Now in this section, it's kind of scary sometimes because you can get the wolf chasing you, And what'll happen is as you hit this corner here, and you could see how I turned around just to make sure that he's not there while we pick up the beast blood pellets, is he can actually come in this corner and he can block you in and do an attack and kill you. So this corner is kind of scary sometimes, but most cases it's safe. And then you're just gonna run out, and then you always just run right by them. Manage your stamina because there's a wolf that's gonna break out of that door right there. And also the door, that's the door where the wolf breaks out, is a shortcut to get back to the lamp, so you don't have to go through all that stuff that we just did. There's also fire paper in there and a little bit of upgrade material, so if you want to be safe, you can upgrade your weapon. I think you can get it to like +2. I used to do that in my original runs, but it took too long for me, and I was getting like tired of resets and doing all that again, so I kind of just run by it. Now this part's a little scary. That wolf's gonna attack, and then you're gonna throw a cocktail so that he doesn't chase you, but he's not too bad. And then these are more bold hunters marks. Get our mollies out and Molotov this crawler, pick up the upgrade material, and that all the upgrade stuff that we just picked up is going to get us to a +2 weapon. So now we're going to equip. Okay, let me go back so we can see. Man, I used to menu so fast in this game. Holy crap. Okay, there we go. So these are the items that we have on. We have Molotovs. This is actually for later, but since we already had it on, these are the main 4 things that you need to have on at this current point. Fire paper, beast blood pellets, and your cocktails, and then your bold hunters marks. Now, if you got that lamp in Old Yarnum, the one that I skipped, you don't really need bold hunters marks. So what we're gonna do is right before this little vase thing is we're gonna buff our weapon, and we're gonna run in. We're gonna use our beast blood pellet, and we're gonna throw a cocktail against the wall. We're gonna do 2 full transformation attacks, which are R1, L1, L1, L1. So you should know how the mechanics work in this game, so I don't really have to go through that. Then we're gonna do another R1, L1, another one, throw a cocktail. BSB is gonna scream, and we're just staying behind her, making sure that we don't get hit. Now around this health, as you can see, her name, just for reference, and you can even use this like white part, this thick white part. So around this health is when she'll scream. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna charge up, backstab, and you can do 2 backstabs to kill, but I didn't have enough stamina, so I just went for the riposte. And then she dies. This fight is kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. It's really annoying. I would say most cases, if you're consistent in the beginning, like the first part up to here, you might die a few times just to get used to it. So, but not too bad. Again, you can always make a save file if you need to practice. And now we're headed to the Amelia split. Okay, so remember, I didn't get that lamp, so it's gonna take us to the last lamp rested at, or bonfire rested at. And if you notice, when we get here, this door right here that was closed is now open. And I get a lot of questions as to why we fight Bloodstar Beast, because she's not part of the any percent, but she's like the biggest part of the any percent, because without this shortcut, we would instead have to go fight Cleric Beast, spend 10,000 echoes to open up a shortcut to the left, and it's just not worth it. So we fight Bloodstar Beast. Also, we get beast blood pellets as well. So we're gonna go through here, and now we go on this elevator. Pop your cold blood if you want. For the 80%, you don't have to send that elevator back down. You'll never come back over here. But for all bosses, we send it back down because we come here later. Let me just go back. So after the elevator, there's a old dude over here in a wheelchair. He won't do anything to you. Just run right by him. Just run all the way by these things and make a left. And we have our Molotovs on for this purpose right here. So we are going to throw it at this crawler. You can kill him, but in some cases you'll actually knock him all the way down and won't be able to get the item again. And here, if you see, there's like a open, kind of like an open box, right? Like the opening right here. This is where you're gonna drop in. I know a lot of people have issues dropping down here. So you're just gonna drop straight down to this platform. You can do a hard fall and not roll just to be safer if you don't feel safe for it. But you can just roll against like the wall and then you'll land on the next platform. And as you can see, my health, like you don't die from that. But you can obviously heal if you want. And we're gonna open this chest here. This is the doll set. This sells for a lot of echoes. We're gonna grab the old hunter's bone. Also sells for a lot of echoes. The umbilical cord for the any percent is mainly used for insight, to buy things from the insight shop. This number there. So when you pop that, you get, I believe, 2 or 3. Now for this run, I go back now and we're gonna upgrade our weapon to +2, and we're gonna put on the gem that we got from the Papa G fight. We're gonna buy all pungent cocktails, 8 Molotovs. We're gonna buy, okay, sorry, it's pretty fast. So we're gonna buy the Yarnum Hunter Cap. All the things that we buy in this run, as far as armor goes, has the most beast meter when we use the beast blood pellet. So it gives us the biggest meter. So we're gonna buy that, and we're gonna sell the old hunter's bone and all of the other armor that we had. And don't sell your cap that you just bought. And now we're gonna come over here. I'm evil and the doll's evil, so that cancels out to we have to kill the doll. So here we're gonna level up to 25 strength and 20 skill. And we're gonna head back to the workshop. Also, something else you could do is you could do this part that I'm doing and go back to Cathedral Ward Lamp, which is the one that we got to after Bloodstar Beast, and do the same thing that we just did. But I chose to do it now just to make it a little bit, I guess, more flowy so that we don't have to go right before the boss. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna go left, go along that little wooden plank, and then just drop straight down. Remember, fall damage in this game is very forgiving, but it's not too forgiving. You definitely can still die. Okay, so we're gonna head down and manage our stamina, get it full. Now this part right here, all you're gonna do is run to this left, or to the right side of the stairs, and go left. There's gonna be a dog here, but you don't really need to worry about him. Like, it looks close, it looks scary, but it's very consistent. So go to the far side of the elevator so that just in case the dog comes after you. And again, for the any percent, you don't have to send that down, but for all bosses you do, because you come back there later. This is our shortcut for Cathedral Ward. So like I said, you can run back there and do your leveling at that point if you want. But we're gonna, hold on, let me go back just to make sure. So pull the lever, we're gonna go up these stairs here, and we're gonna go towards Amelia. We're gonna grab that cold blood. Now this part, this is a scythe boy. He looks scary. If you can see right here, there's an item. This is blood vials. We grab those, he will never hit you. If you just grab him like that and just go, and that's it. But this guy right here, let me tell you something about him. He is very scary. In most cases, he's fine, but I would suggest running this part a few times, running through so that you can get different scenarios, because he he can do some crazy things, and he's ended a lot of my runs before. So just be very careful. Also, the next part coming up, you need to manage your stamina as well. So just watch the green bar, watch my stamina. So we're gonna run past him. That's a good attack. I always just cautiously roll and get my stamina back full. That first guy will never hit you. This second one, he can point at you and do a quick like slam down. But if you just kind of strafe over to the left, he'll never hit you, and then you just go straight to the door. Very easy. And now we're gonna head to Amelia. So there are markers on the ground, little squares that I use for the buff. So this one right here is the one that we're gonna go to, and we're gonna buff with fire paper right now. And then the cutscene starts, and you see how I immediately switched over to beast blood pellets. And then right at this point right here is where we're gonna use our beast blood pellet. Just like that. And you can see her arm come down. Now remember, this is a +2 weapon with the red gem on, and 25 strength, 20 skill. Very, very specific leveling. That's the thing about this game. It's all about execution. So if your levels are off and you're wondering why you didn't stagger, hey Donnie, I watched this video, things aren't working out. Hey man, go back, look at how I leveled. It's very specific, and then you'll get it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna R1, L1. That arm's gonna stagger. This is very crucial right here. We need to untransform our weapon. So bring it back to the starting closed position, but do not push L1 quickly. If you push L1 quickly, you're gonna do an attack because it's gonna chain off of the attacks that you just did here. So let's go back, let's see it. So R1, L1, wait a second, switch it, R1, L1, L1 on the leg, it staggers, get your health back full, come over to her left leg, R1, L1, 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 untransform it back, go to the head, lock on, get the visceral, and boom, boom, boom. Okay, now that part right there. So let me go back. So after the visceral, what I do is I angle my camera down, and I guess I don't really need to do this anymore because after this part I go for this side anyways, but I angle it down to hit this leg. But maybe in this video I actually hit her arm. But what I do is I R1, L1, L1. I do 3 attacks and then I roll. It looks scary, but it's very consistent. You'll never get hit. So R1, L1, L1, roll out of the way. Get your stamina back. R1, R1, she staggers. And then just beat her down. And that's the whole fight. So there was a lot of things that happened. We can take a look at it again, just so you can see. So we have 2 attacks there, untransform, 3 attacks there, get your stamina back, hit this leg, 3, 4 attacks, untransform, lock on, get the visceral, 3 attacks here, roll, get your stamina back, she screams, hit this arm, it staggers, and just kill her. Just like that. This should be something that you do second nature. It should be something that is very consistent for you, and it should work out. After that, we go to Lawrence's skull. We need this. Do not forget this. Please do not forget this, because the next part you won't be able to go to if you do not do this. Get the item, do the cutscene, go, and you're good. So I'm gonna stop the video right there. That is gonna be part 1 of learning how to no-hit Bloodborne. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment any questions, any concerns, anything you want me to go over again, and I will definitely either answer you in the comments or go back on the video and kind of, you know, see what was going on. And I will catch you guys in part 2. Thank you so much. Take care.